Penny for them.
Sorry, Miss Parsons, what was that?
Oh, you look thoughtful. I just said a penny for them.
They're not worth it.
Oh, come on, I don't know so much.
Oh, she's a funny one, that Jane Sims.
Didn't say that. Just quiet, really.
Sly, more like. The quiet ones you want to watch.
Charles, haven't you seen me safely off to Bristol?
Yeah, if you like. Oh, you'll be all right. They're always interesting, those NACRO conferences.
Oh, yes, and worthwhile, too. Well, I think that's a lot. Oh, anything you need to know before I go?
Don't think so?
Anything I need to know?
I don't think so.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Thank you. Oh, and good luck to you, too.
I don't care how you do it, though, Bill. It's got to be done, isn't it?
Well, I ain't doing it without root. She's all get an electric room. Well, all right.
Morning, Chief. Morning, Miss Parsons.
Oh, please. Allow me. Ladies first.
Thanks a lot.
Bet you wouldn't mind giving that one, eh, Gov?
Does cause a certain stirring in the loins, Billy boy.
Oh, you could say that again.
Never mind, in a few more months.
Yeah, but in the meantime, I'm going blind.
That's the lot from North Wing. Are you sure? Oh, I called 3 times. They should know by now this is their day.
Joking.
Yes.
On your own again, Jane?
Oh, hello, Miss White.
You really shouldn't spend so much time alone, you know.
Alone? In here? You must be joking.
What do you mean?
You might get lonely in here, but one thing you never are, and that's alone.
Do you feel lonely?
I feel tired. Oh.
Well, I've brought you some books you might like. They just come in.
Why?
It was this wing's library exchange today. I've never known you miss it before. Thought perhaps you might be on Governor's application or something and couldn't make it. They're what you like, your favourite authors.
Thank you.
That's all right. I booked them out to you. Have you finished those?
Yes.
You ought to brighten this room up a bit, you know.
It's not a room, Miss White. It's a cell.
Yes, but if you put up a few pictures, curtains...
It would still be a cell. I can't see the end to
Oh, now,
this.
come on, Jane. It'll pass, really it will, sooner than you think. The one thing they can't stop in here is time.
I'm sorry.
I know.
But these 5 months, they just dragged.
Well, with remission, you'll be out in just over 2 years.
You make it sound like 2 weeks.
Oh, it's not so long. In any case, you'll be up for parole in 11 months.
They don't give my sort parole.
Now, don't be ridiculous. You've the same chance as anyone else.
No, not me.
Why ever not?
Well, for one thing, I haven't got a home, I haven't got a family. Oh, I've got a mother and father, but they're hardly what you'd call a family.
Surely they write to you.
The only letters my mother's ever written are to the Social Security for a handout. And my father would be shaking too much to hold a pen. He drinks.
Oh, dear.
I got away from that when I was 15. I haven't heard from or seen them since, and I don't want to either.
But you seem so...
Educated. In the University of Life. It's a question of survival. Of course, the trouble with that is it makes you so... Oh, I don't know. Wary, you know?
Not really. Look, perhaps if you made an effort to make friends with someone in here, it would help.
Oh, I've got nothing in common with that lot out there. Especially the ones I come into contact with in the bloody jam shop.
Well, have you tried for a change of labour?
Only every week for the last 2 months. Anyway, thank you for the books. Oh, thanks for being so nice.
Well, cheer up.
Do the lunch now, Mr. Robin?
Yes, we might as well.
I better just tell me where I'll be for the next one.
Right, okay. Where shall I see
Just
you?
over here.
Okay, see you in a minute. Oh! I am sorry, how clumsy.
That's all right, sir.
No, let me do that.
No, it's all right, so I can manage, really.
No, it's my fault, I insist.
Well, I can't argue with the governor, can I?
That's right. There we are.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure, Miss White.
You ready, Mr. Radley?
Hmm?
The rounds.
Oh, yes, of course. Slight accident.
Yeah, so I'll see.
Sims is definitely a cut above the other applicants, and it is a job that requires a certain degree of intelligence, Miss Parrish.
Oh, yes, she's bright enough, but don't you find she tends to be a bit aloof?
Maybe, but that's not uncommon among the more intelligent inmates, is it? I sometimes think that must be the worst part of doing Bird, not being able to choose the company you keep.
Yes, I suppose so.
Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Radley.
Busy?
Yes? We were just discussing the vacant trustee's job in the library. Miss White thinks that Jane Sims would be a suitable choice.
Jane Sims, don't think I can place her.
She's on this wing. Very attractive girl, serving 4 years.
Oh, yes. Yeah, she's the one that got mixed up with that gang of professional bank robbers, isn't she?
That's her.
Well, if Miss White thinks she's suitable for the job, I'm sure she is.
Yes, but I was just about to explain. Mrs. Boswell prefers to interview potential red bands herself before the job's confirmed.
Yes, I know. Are you in any hurry to have this job filled?
Well, I suppose I could manage, but I would like someone in as soon as possible.
All right. In that case, I'll see the girl.
There are a number of other applicants, Mr. Radley.
Fine, I'll see them as well. Perhaps you could arrange it for tomorrow afternoon, say about 3.
3. Yes, Mr. Radley. And Mrs. Armitage likes to be informed of these things.
Yes, Miss Parrish, I am aware of the procedures. I'll check it out with her, naturally.
Well, I must be going. And thank you, sir.
That's all right, leave it to me. Well, I better get on with my rounds. Oh, Miss White, I'm
Yes,
sorry
sir.
about, bumping into you like that.
Oh, that's all right, sir. No harm done.
Yeah, well, that's all right, then.
All right, Shirley.
Oh, yes, thank you, miss.
Shouldn't be long now before we get someone in to take Dorothy Turner's place.
Oh. Anyone you've recommended in particular, miss? I hear you're after the library job. Well?
Well, what?
Are you?
I don't see it's got anything to do with you.
I work in the library.
I know.
So it has got something to do with me.
Oh? You make the decision, do you?
No, of course I don't. But Miss White did ask me if she thought I'd get along with you.
Did she? How nice.
Well, aren't you interested in what I said?
It's a matter of total indifference to me.
Bloody charming, that is, I must say.
Right, Pauline, that's all for the moment. Can we have the next one, please, Miss Parrish?
Right, Jane, you next.
Well, now, Jane, sit down. What makes you think that you're suitable for this job?
You want me to be honest, sir?
Of course.
I mean, apart from the fact that I'm bored to tears with the job I've got at the moment.
Well, that's a common complaint in here.
Yes, well, I suppose one of the main reasons I'd like the job is I suppose I'm a bit frightened.
Frightened of what?
Of becoming institutionalized, I guess, sir. I look around me at some of the poor women in here retreating into apathy out of sheer boredom of it. Oh, now, I know it's not your fault, sir, or the staff. But prison is prison. It's being locked away in a totally unnatural environment. And unless one personally makes the effort to keep one's mind active... And I do have some time still to serve, sir.
Yes, you have, Jane. That's one thing I have to take into consideration. This is, after all, a red band's job. And that means that you will... Radley. Yes, she is. What, now? All right, I'll tell her. AG's meeting, Miss Parrish?
Oh, I've forgotten all about it.
Well, you better run along, then.
Yes, Mr. Radley. Shall I send an officer in?
No, just leave the door. Well, now, Jane, where was I?
About what being a red band means, sir.
Yes, well, it means that you are placed in a position of trust.
Oh, you can trust me, sir, absolutely. All I want to do is to serve my time in the most constructive and helpful way possible. That is for you as well as myself. If you give me the chance to prove it, I'll do anything you say, sir.
I have just heard from Miss Parrish that Jane Sims has been given the library red band job.
That's right, Chief.
I've also learned that it was you who recommended her.
Yes. Is something wrong, Chief? Because I'm afraid I don't understand.
Yes, something is wrong. I was not consulted about it. You didn't consult me.
Well, I'm sorry, Chief, but I understood that Mr. Radley...
Never mind about Mr. Radley. I was not informed. I don't think that she's suitable, nor was she entitled to be considered for it. I suppose you have read her record.
Well, as a matter of fact, no, but Miss Parrish had...
As an officer, you know perfectly well that no decision of any importance should be taken about an inmate without first acquainting yourself with their record.
Look, I know I'm not acting strictly according to procedure, Chief, but it's my belief that reading an inmate's record is not always the best way to assess their character.
Oh, indeed. And how would you assess it?
By observation and talking to them.
And what chance have you had as library officer to assess the credibility of Sims's character?
Quite a bit. I see her when she comes to the library and talk to her there. I know the kind of books she reads and the interest she has. And I also see and talk to her on the wing when I'm on duty there in the evenings.
Oh, and so you think that's enough, do you?
Well, I don't wish to seem insubordinate, Chief, but I would suggest that that qualifies me to know her a little better than you.
Indeed. Let me inform you, Miss White, that I have been in the service for over 20 years. And if I can't assess an inmate's character by now, I shall pack it in today.
So you start on Monday morning?
Great!
There is just one thing I'd like to ask you about first, though.
Oh, what's that?
That story you told me about your background wasn't the truth, was it?
About my parents, you mean?
Yes.
No, it wasn't. How did you find out?
Simply by checking your record.
Oh, forgive me, Miss White. It was a stupid thing to do. The fact is, I've got terrific parents who are probably worried out of their minds about me.
You mean they don't know you're in here?
No. You know Sims isn't my real name.
Yes, I wondered about that when I was reading your record.
It was the name I gave to the police when I was arrested and the name I was tried under.
So they wouldn't have known it was you even if they'd read about the case in the papers?
Well, thank God. It would probably kill my father. The fact is, he's a very sweet, kind, gentle, middle-aged man with a weak heart.
Jane, they must be going frantic.
Yes, I know, but I just couldn't write to them from here.
Why not?
What, with HMP Stone Park stamped all over the writing paper were
yes,
issued?
There is that. Well, perhaps we can think of a way round that. Right, now I better start with showing you the ropes. Now then. Oh, Jane. You won't lie to me again, will you?
I promise. I do think of you as a friend, not just a friendly officer. Real friend.
Thank you, Jane. Now, shall we start over here?
I know it's not the damn thing or anything, but... Well, I don't suppose that when we're working alone together like this, that, I could possibly call you by your Christian name. It really would mean a great deal to me.
I think that would be very nice, Jane. My name is Mary. Now, this is crime fiction section, and as you can see, it's the biggest one here.
Jane, what's her name?
Oh, Sims, madam.
Is she a new red band?
Yes, in the library. That's a matter I'd like to discuss with you, madam, whenever it's convenient.
That's convenient now, Mrs. Auntie.
Morning.
You got the key to me out there, darling.
One click, every nick.
Well, Mrs. Armitage never voiced her objections to me.
Well, apparently she only found out after you'd endorsed it.
Nevertheless, as acting governor, I feel she should have come to me with her complaints, not gone behind my back.
Well, why on earth didn't you discuss it with her, Charles? After all, she is the chief officer.
Yes, I know, and of course I should have. Just slipped my mind, that's all. But quite frankly, I can't see what all the fuss is about.
Correct procedure, Charles, as simple as that.
Oh, Jane, I'll be back in a moment. Then we can finish
I'll
up
see you out there.
All right.
Room for 2 more upstairs.
Billy? What are you doing here?
I'm on a works party, ain't it? We've been here over a week now.
Well, that's marvellous. I can't believe it. Must be nearly 2 years.
What's about, eh? Yeah, hey, I read about you getting nicked with Charlie and lads. Couldn't believe it when you got a 4 stretch. Didn't think of being here, though. Bird like you. Thought you'd be a dot on a car, go to one of them cushy open nicks.
So did I, but here I am. Apparently being a gangster's mole makes me an unsuitable case for treatment.
Yeah. Oh, you're doing all right, though. Red band already.
Oh, I just started this one. That's a library red band, that is.
Terrific. Get away with anything in the nick. You've got a posh accent.
That's what I'm hoping. No, thanks. I don't suppose Charlie,
No, Parkmoor's local now, ain't it? He's 4 years in under. He went to Wandsworth for allocation to a long-term nick. Him and Bertie, they ended up at Hull. I'm sorry you got your collar felt, love. It's a long time for a first one. A 4.
Yeah. How is it you're here on your own?
Always doing some pipe work in the kitchen as well, like me governor has to nip back and forth, you know. It's bloody marvellous, isn't it? I'm climbing up the wall for a bird, and the first time I'm alone with one, it has to be in a nick, and she has to belong to a pal of mine.
I don't belong to Charlie or anyone, Billy.
Well, know what I mean.
How much longer have you got to do?
Only 3 months. Well, just under.
Are you going to be working here for that time?
I don't know. Oh, he should be here for a few more weeks yet, though.
Really? Yeah. Look, someone's coming. Look, Billy, don't let on you know me, otherwise they'll shift you out.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Shh. For me? You shouldn't have.
You know what the wages are for this job, don't you?
Oh, I hadn't thought about it.
40 pence a week, a lot less than you were getting in the jam shop.
But won't you get into trouble?
No one's going to know, are they?
Oh, Mary, you're so good to me. You really are.
I've also been giving some thought to this business concerning your parents. Now, I think it might be an idea if you made an application to the governor.
All right.
6 applications and 1 reception, madam. I know you normally see them separately, but I thought with the meeting this morning it would save time.
By anyone we know?
Doolan, Rosie Doolan.
Oh, our pious abortionist.
I'm afraid so.
How long she got this time?
2 years.
All right, let's have her in.
Doolan,
Madam.
give your name and number to the governor.
Rosie Doolan, madam. I haven't had a chance to learn my number yet.
Oh, it's the same one as you had before, Rosie.
Is that a fact, madam? Well, that's a comfort, I must say. And the good Lord knows I need it. Does that mean I'll also be getting my old job back as well, madam?
No, I shouldn't think so, not for the moment anyway. Well, I suppose you're wanting to see Father O'Callaghan as soon as possible.
Aye, I will. Oh, there was one
Come
small
on,
thing.
Rosie, we haven't got all day.
Ah, yes. God bless you, madam.
Right, who's next?
Sims. Jane Sims. Sims. Give your name and number.
Jane Sims, 3852945, madam.
Well, what can we do for you, Jane?
I'd like to make an application to draw out some private cash to buy a few things for myself, please, madam.
Pooh. So.
I can't understand why she refused you. Perhaps if I had a word with her.
Oh, no, don't do that, Mary. I mean, well, she was very nice about it. She just felt that it would be wrong of me to deceive my parents and wrong for her as governor to be party to it. She thought I ought to write to them, but on prison note paper, of course.
Perhaps she's right, you know.
No, Mrs. Boswell doesn't know my parents like I do. Believe me, they simply couldn't cope with the knowledge. I don't know what I'm going to do about it. Really, I don't. I mean, oh, if only I could.
What?
Telephone them or something.
Now, you know that isn't allowed.
No, of course.
Oh, sure. I have to get these order forms to the newsagents today, you know, Shirley.
Sorry, miss, but I'm doing my best. If you like, Miss White, I'll do the typing and Shirley can help with the books. I once took a secretarial course. I'm quite proficient with a typewriter.
But I've always done the typing, miss.
Oh, don't be so silly, Shirley. What does it matter who does it? Come on, you help me and let Jane finish that off. There's a good film on in the chapel on Sunday. Will you be going?
No, films don't bother me, but I'll be up to help with the papers in the morning. And if it's all right with you, I'd love to come up in the afternoon.
Yes, come up by all means.
Great.
Actually, there's something I want to tell you about anyway.
Oh?
Here's the governor.
Come on. Here, I want a word with you.
Really?
You must think I've just come up the river on a bloody donut.
Are you talking about?
I'm talking about your little game in the library.
Oh, and what little game might that be?
The way you're always putting me down and sucking up to Miss White.
Oh, don't be so ridiculous.
Oh, don't come your eye bloody mighty airs with me. I'm not stupid, you know.
My dear, anyone who can't keep out of prison for 5 minutes but keeps returning with depressing regularity as you do has to be bordering on the moronic, let alone stupid.
You're asking for a punch in the mouth.
Oh, that's what I like about you, Shirley. Your devastating repartee.
What's that?
Your razor-sharp wit, my dear.
I'm warning you.
Oh, dear. Threats of violence from a middle-aged recidivist. How pathetic.
Oh, you rotten cow! I'll get even with you if it's the last thing I do. Oh!
Silly bitch.
What's wrong with a cleaner, Rosie? I thought you liked the job.
To be sure, madam, but not a landing cleaner. It's not the same thing at all, is it?
Same as what?
Has been Father O'Callaghan's personal cleaner in the church.
Come on, girls, out of the way. Let the governor through.
Is she all right, madam? No, I don't think so. Get Dr. Mays quickly.
Come, look, out of the way.
Severe concussion. She'll have to be taken out for an X-ray.
Tonight?
I can't tell whether her skull is fractured or not.
Yes, we'll make the necessary arrangements. I'll authorize it.
Slipped on a bar of soap, you say?
Yes.
Did anybody see it?
No, but I don't think there's any doubt that that's what she did.
A fractured skull?
Well, Dr. May says the X-ray shows a hairline fracture, but that's bad enough.
That's terrible. Poor old Shirley. Did they say how long she's likely to be that way?
What, unconscious?
Yes.
Well, it's difficult to tell. It could be a couple of days or a couple of weeks.
Oh. Anyway, I know what's happened to Shirley is terrible, but, well, I have to confess, I find the thought of you and I working alone together, it's nice.
Well, let's get these to the wing, shall we?
Sure, Mary.
Yes?
There was something you were going to tell me.
Tell you?
Yes, when we were talking in the wing on Friday evening.
Oh, yes, that. Look, if I offered to do something for you, would you give me your word of honour that you'd keep it to yourself, strictly between us?
Yes, of course. What is it?
Well, I've been thinking about what you said about your parents and that.
Yes.
About telephoning them.
I don't understand.
Well, you could do it from here.
Here?
There.
But doesn't that have to go through the switch?
Yes, but I've only got to pick it up and ask for an outside line and you can dial any number you want.
Oh, Mary. You really are something else.
I'm only thinking of your parents. Now, just wait till I see if they've all gone into chapel. Settle off for the film then? Okay. Come on, girls, get to line. Come on, off you go. Hurry up. It'll all be over before we've even got there. Come on, girls. Right. You sure they'll be at home?
Oh, yes.
Hello, switchboard. Miss White, library. Give me an outside line, please. Yep.
Good grief, whatever to... Oh, Mr. Radley, can you come and look? I think there's a pipe burst or something. There's water all
Is that
over
works
the
party
place.
still at the library?
Yes, I think so. Oh.
Right, come on, Bill, get it in. Get it in, will you? Come on. Well, look, I've got a trust order here. I've got the bloody answer for everything. Put it in. Mr. Wright, there's a burst pipe in the centre office. Water everywhere. Come on, you better get down there immediately.
Billy, you better wait here. Jack, you better come with me.
Come on, quick.
Billy,
What? Where'd you
come here.
What?
Closer.
What's the matter? Leave off, you'll get nicked.
There's no one here.
There's not. There's not.
And there won't be for at least 10 minutes. Just a minute.
What for?
You do like me, don't you?
Do I like? Are you kidding?
Do you fancy me?
Only with a passion that borders on the insane, that's
Well,
all.
what day did you get out?
What's that got to do with anything?
Because when you do, I want you to do something for me.
Oh, anything.
Do you promise?
Me mother's eyesight, anything.
Good.
Right. I've turned off the main. You can unscrew that joint and measure up now. All right. Oh, what a bloody mess, eh? Better get somebody to clean this lot up. Ah, Miss Parsons. A word in your shell like here.
Not just now, Mr. Wright.
Oh, now we have this terrific rapport. You can call me John.
Well, perhaps we'd better discuss it in more detail at the next wing meeting.
All right, Chief, thank you very much.
Will you excuse me, Miss Parrish?
You'll get a couple of your girls.
Have you no work, Miss Parsons? If not, I can soon find you some.
Well, yes, Chief, I was, I'll be off then.
Oh, just a social chit-chat, love.
Don't you dare call me love.
Sorry, slip of the tongue. Just my friendly nature.
Oh, keep your friendly nature to yourself and stay away from my officers. You're paid to do a job of work, not spend half the day every day in social chit-chat with my staff. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I hope you do. Because if there's any more of it, the chief engineer and the governor of Parkmore will be having an official complaint from me about your behaviour. Is that clear?
As a crystal, yes, ma'am.
Excuse me, Miss Parrish.
What does she do for Nobby? All in wrestling, eh? You reckon you can get a couple of your girls to clean up that mess in there?
I'll see what I can do.
Too much.
Jane?
Yes, Mary, I'm over here.
What the hell is going on here?
Going on? Why, nothing's going on. I was just having a chat
You've
with
no
Billy.
right to be
But
having...
Mary!
I'm Miss White to you.
But we were just having a talk. What's wrong with that?
Where's Mr. Wright?
Yeah, well, he just popped out with the deputy governor bloke.
When?
Well, a couple of minutes ago, not long ago.
Here he is, anyway.
Mr. Wright,
Say up, love.
what the hell do you mean by leaving this man unsupervised when one of my girls is here alone?
Do what?
It's the works officer, Mr. Wright, madam.
He hasn't been bothering you, has he?
Oh, no. The trouble is, madam, he keeps leaving his assistant alone in the library, unsupervised.
Well, most of the work is being done in areas where there's one or two of the staff to keep an eye on them.
Not in the library.
But you're in the library.
No, not all the time, madam. You see, I have to go to the newsagents and collect magazines.
Yes, I know.
Well, it's just that it's not right that a young, vulnerable girl like Jane should be left alone with a convicted man.
Jane Sims. How often has she been left alone with him?
Oh, only the once, to my knowledge, madam.
Well, I'll see it doesn't happen again, thank you.
Yes, madam, but... Well, this is a young man, madam, and Jane is... Well, she's a very attractive young woman.
Yes, she is a very attractive young woman. She's well educated and intelligent. She's also mixed with some pretty sophisticated villains. Hardly vulnerable, Miss White?
No, madam, but... Well, we mustn't forget that this young man has been in prison for some time, and he must have... Well, urges.
Well, it would be rather odd if he didn't, don't you think? However, I shall try and see that he doesn't get a chance to express these urges, should they become too overwhelming.
You mean you'll have him taken off the works party, madam?
I'll think about it. Thank you, Miss White.
Yes, madam. Thank you.
Something troubling you, madam?
Does she live with her parents?
No, she lives in a flat on her own.
She and Sims get on pretty well together, don't they?
Yes, I suppose so, madam.
Well, that's it. I'm putting in for a change of labour.
But why?
You had no right to speak to me like that in front of those two men. All those disgusting
I was
inferences.
angry, upset.
But you thought we'd been up to something.
No.
Yes, I could tell the way you were looking at us.
I'm sorry. It's this damn prison. The way it breeds suspicion and doubt. No matter how much you fight, it... Jane, I'm sorry. Really, I am.
But you've reported us.
No, not you. Mr. Wright. The governor doesn't blame you. She's simply going to see that he doesn't leave his assistant alone
Well,
anymore.
won't he get into trouble?
No, he'll probably get told
I mean,
off.
his assistant, what's his name, Billy?
No, it's not his fault. So let's forget about it, eh? No more talk about a change of labour.
Oh, I suppose I am overreacting a bit. I mean, what right have I to go on? You're an officer, and I'm just a prisoner.
No, not to me, you're not. You have a right to your dignity, respect.
Oh, Mary. We're still friends, aren't we?
Yes.
Oh!
No. What are you doing?
I was just trying to show my thanks. That's all.
Something you ate then, dearie?
Works party finished in the library yet?
No, not yet. About another week, I'm told.
But they've been there 6 weeks already.
That's prison works parties for you.
By the way, how's Mr. Wright been behaving himself?
Everybody behaves themselves after Mrs. Armitage has had a word with them.
Yes. Yes, well, thank you for letting me know, Doctor. Shirley's back next week.
Oh? She's all right now, is she?
More or less. She probably won't be coming straight back to
I'm
work.
not moving out, not with all those books on it, I'll tell you that.
Can we help?
Wouldn't you? Hey?
Can we help?
Oh, that would be very nice of you, yeah, just to move it
Do you
forward
fancy a bit of exercise?
Why not?
Come on, then.
Where should I? Well, why not you take the front, eh?
Right.
Take the front.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey?
Okay,
Go on
you
then.
take your end first.
How much longer have you got?
Not long, 4 or 5 days at the most, all right. Hey, oh, God, you broke it now.
Ready? Up there. It's all right, I'll mend it later.
I ain't sure you where yet.
Stick it in that white book on the top. I'll cop it later.
That's all right, that's fine. Yeah, don't worry about those books, I can do that. Right.
Can you put them back?
Thanks a lot.
Oh,
Jane? Jane, what's the matter? You all right?
I don't know. I've gone all dizzy all of a sudden.
You want to sit down? Do you want to report soon?
No, it's all right. I'll be okay in a moment. I'm just not used to manual labour, I guess.
Well, do you want to go to your cell and rest for a bit?
Well, I wouldn't mind. Are you sure that'll be all right?
Of course. Come on.
God!
How are you then, dearie?
What do you want?
Nothing at all. I noticed you came up a while ago, so I just thought I'd pop my head in for a chat.
Yes. Well, if you don't mind, I'd like a bit of privacy.
Ah, you'll find very little of that in here. Very little at all.
That's obvious.
Is there something that's troubling you now?
What do you mean?
You look like someone with troubles. I've a knack of seeing these things, you know.
Oh, you got not many customers today, Mary? No, and if it wasn't for the romance and the murder sections, there wouldn't be that many.
God, that must mean something, I suppose.
Ask the psychiatrist that one.
Oh, psychiatrists. Don't talk to me about psychiatrists. Problem?
Oh, half the time I don't think they know what they're talking about.
No, I suppose you're right, but... Oh, well, you never know. Wait a minute. Tell me it was off. See you later.
Okay, see you. Bye-bye. Oh, Jane, take those to the North Wing office, would you?
Now,
If you would.
Ah, Miss Parsons. Looking for me?
Actually, I was trying to avoid you.
So much for your charm and style.
Can't win 'em all, Billy boy. Listen, I've just got to pop down the kitchen for a bit. Is it all right if I leave Billy here?
Yes, by all means.
Thank you very much.
I've given it some thought, dearie.
and?
It's a bit risky.
Well, let me worry about that.
All right then, when?
I'll let you know when.
Yes, well, about payment.
Don't worry, you'll get your tobacco.
Mind if I have a burn, miss?
No, go ahead.
So.
Well,
For what?
what does it mean?
X marks the spot?
I want to know, Jane.
I've never seen it before.
Don't lie. That's your handwriting on the bottom, and I want to know what it's all about.
Where did you get it?
From where you put it.
You can't prove
I
that.
saw you, for God's sake. Now, do you tell me what this is all about, or do I take this and you to the governor right now?
You mean you haven't reported it already?
I wanted to hear your explanation first.
And when you have?
Well, that depends.
Did you, I mean, Billy?
Yes.
Oh, what did he say?
He said he knew nothing about it. He just happened to pick up that book. There were 1,000 books in the library, and he happens to select that one. I'm waiting, Jane.
He gets out of here in a few weeks.
Who?
Billy, the bloke working in the library.
And?
I've got to get out of here, Mary.
Oh, my God.
Please try to understand. I just have to. I can't cope anymore.
Is this where you propose to get over the wall?
Yes.
How?
He's going to be waiting in a car. Throw a rope ladder over.
No, Jane, no, he's not.
Mary! Well, I intend to go, whatever you say.
We'll see what the governor has to say about that.
You're going to tell?
Don't be ridiculous. Of course I must.
And are you going to tell about the other things? About the phone call you let me make, about the cigarettes you let me have? And us? You going to tell her about us?
Us? What do you mean?
Our friendship. Our close friendship.
What do you mean?
You can give it up and come with me.
With you?
Yes. You can pack it in after I'm out of here, and we can live abroad somewhere. I've got money, I've got contacts. No one need ever know.
No,
Oh, come on. I know you feel the same way about me as I feel about you.
You don't think... Oh, that's disgusting.
Oh, it is it? Have you thought about the alternatives?
What alternatives?
Instant dismissal. Maybe even a criminal charge if I told the authorities what you've done for me, the favours. You are in it up to your neck. I'm going to get out of here. And whether you like it or not, you are going to help me.
That seems to be all right.
Yeah, all I need is spot of paint along there. Drop a red oxide gun. Finish it off, love.
Well, we're off now, Miss White. Everything's working okay. Should you keep you warm and cosy?
Yes, well, thank you very much.
About out of business. No hard feelings, eh?
No.
Right. Oh, Bill then. Come on, Bill. Come on, Bill.
Mary, I think we ought to talk
Not now,
about...
please. I don't
But
want to
I
discuss
think
it.
we ought
Not
to...
now.
Ah, Shirley. Well, you seem to be in good working order, but I'm not sure about you going back onto grade A labour just yet.
But I want my old job back in the library.
Yes, I'm sure you do, and I've no doubt that they've kept it open for
And
you.
I
but
want to see the governor.
Huh? What about?
That bitch who knocked me down.
But it's just not true, madam. I couldn't possibly do a thing like that. And in any case, what reason would I have?
Well, she says that you hate her and that you do everything that you can to discredit her in front of Miss White. Putting her down is the expression she used.
That's absurd, madam. I admit Shirley and I weren't the best of friends, but we got on well enough. If anything, it was she who was hostile to me. And in any case, I couldn't possibly have done what Shirley's accused me of, because most of the time I was talking to Miss White while you were talking to Rosie Doolan. Isn't that so, miss?
Yes, madam. I don't see how she could have had the opportunity.
Very well, I'll consider what action to take. Thank you. You may both go.
Thank you, madam. Can you manage this evening? I suppose so. Come to my cell in 10 minutes.
Are you sure you want to go through with this, dearie?
I'm sure. Just be there.
Morning, girls. Time to swap out. Morning, miss. Come on, let's get going. Okay, you Morning. Come on, Rosie. Rise and shine. Come on, Jane. Wakey, wakey. Come on, Jane. Time to get up. Come on. What's the matter with you? No. God. Miss Parrish, quick. In here. Oh, my God.
Well, Doctor?
She's had a miscarriage. I'd say the fetus was about 2 months formed.
But that's not possible. She's been in here nearly 9 months.
Well, I can assure you there's no mistake.
Well, but how? I mean, who could...
Who was responsible, you mean? Well, she did mention a name.
Me? She's accusing me?
Well, that's what she told Peter and me.
But that's ridiculous. Well, you don't believe her, do you?
No, of course not, Charles.
Well, for a moment there...
However, if she sticks to that story...
Well, there must be some way of disproving it. I mean, it's too absurd. I mean, when was I supposed to have... Look, in what circumstances was it possible?
She said it was when I left you two alone in this office that time.
What time?
When you were interviewing her about the Red Band's job, remember?
But she was only in here for 5 minutes after you left. And there was an officer just outside the door, for God's sake.
Now, calm down, Charles.
Calm down? How the hell can I calm down? You do realise the damage this could do to my career if the press got hold of it?
Yes, well, they won't.
And how do you propose to stop them? It's probably all over the prison by now. The first release out of the gates will head straight for Fleet Street and pow, that'll be it. It won't matter that we can prove it's a lie. The dirt will rub off and that'll be me, finished.
Well, we're pretty certain we know who's responsible.
Who?
A young man helping the works engineer in the library. Jax.
A con? Well, how would he get the opportunity?
Well, it was the day that you went to see Mr. Wright about the burst pipe. Apparently you went to examine the damage and left Jackson Sims alone in the library.
Well, it was an emergency.
It's all right, Charles. It wasn't your fault. You weren't to know that she was there.
Well, let's get on to the governor of Parkmore now and get on to this Jax fellow immediately.
Well, I've already done that. Unfortunately, Jax was discharged yesterday morning.
Well, I'm not standing for this. I'm going down to the hospital wing right now and have this out with Miss Jane Sims.
Charles, you will do no such thing.
I'm going to confront her myself.
I've already spoken to her, and so has Peter. She's going to stick to that story. I'm afraid that your assessment of her character was sadly misplaced.
So what are we going to do?
Well, I'm hoping that Miss White might be able to solve the problem.
Miss White?
Thanks. Oh, hello, Mary.
Morning, Gwen.
Hey, heard about Jane Sims yet?
Jane? No, what about her?
I found her in her cell yesterday morning. Apparently she was 2 months pregnant and just miscarried.
Oh.
Mary?
How are you feeling now?
I'm all right, thank you, madam.
How long is it since you've been in the service now, Miss White? Is it 2 years?
Yes, it's about that, madam.
Well, surely during that time you've been involved in incidents that have been far more disturbing than this one.
You see, Miss White, we find it difficult to understand why you're reacting so, well, so emotionally to this situation. Can you explain that at all?
We're not blaming you for what's happened, Miss White. I'm just afraid that Jane has made fools of us all. You do realize, don't you, that if she sticks to this absurd story, that Mr. Radley might have to resign over something that we know perfectly well that he's innocent of? Would it be fair to say that your relationship with this girl was more than it should be between an inmate and an officer?
Oh, Mrs. Boswell, I'm so sorry. I've been so stupid.
Come on now, pull yourself together. It's not as bad as all that.
Oh, Mr. Radley, I'm not what she thinks I am I?
Who thinks?
Jane Sims, I'm not... You like me, don't you?
Well, of course, but what is it? What is it you've done?
So what did Sims say when you faced her with White's confession?
Well, she didn't deny the truth.
I suppose if she hadn't have had that miscarriage, she'd have got away with her escape plan.
Yes, it's possible.
Good job for us that nature intervened.
Dr. Mays doesn't think it was nature.
Oh?
He thinks it was self-induced. Or someone helped. Naturally, she won't admit it. Hello, Miss Parrish.
I suppose White's future is in the hands of the board now.
Yes, I expect they'll ask her to resign. Naturally, if they charged her, there'd be publicity and all the facts would come out.
If you'd have been here, she'd never have got that job with Sims.
Maybe, but as governor, I'm the one that's ultimately responsible. So, what do we do about Jane Sims?